The heat of the Premier League title race is on. Big games are coming back this midweek. It is Arsenal at the Emirates up against their rivals Chelsea in a big London encounter. Everton will entertain Liverpool in Merseyside derby, while Manchester City also go up against Brighton and Hove Albion. All this midweek, important games in the title race. These are a preview of these games. My name is Ayomide, and this is the Nutmeg on Garden TV. We do this quick and fast, and of course joining me to preview these games is Hogan, and of course big games to look forward to. I'd like us to start with Arsenal up against Chelsea, a London derby, a point for bragging rights really, and much more importantly for Arsenal, it's all about picking all 3 points. But this looks on paper for some as a match that could prove to be a jinx for the Gunners.
Yes, we are expecting a very good football game. It has always been a rivalry game for a very long time, and Arsenal has to take 3 points. They are looking forward to it. Also, it's also important for Chelsea too to take 3 points because they are looking at a progress to being represented in European football this season, whether Conference League or Europa League. If they win all their games with other persons in front of them, losing their games, their matches. So it's going to be a very, very good football game, and 3 points is the major thing to fight for.
At this point, Arsenal sits at the top of the table.
Yes.
And that's level on point with Liverpool. Yeah. Right. I'm going to talk about Liverpool next, but this game, do you think if Arsenal lose, does it have great consequence? I mean, with just about 5 games left.
Yes. If they lose this game, they've lost the league automatically. I can say that to you. If you look at the last set of games that they have, we intend to say that Manchester City have more
easier
run. So if Arsenal lose to Chelsea, definitely the title race is.
How about Liverpool now? Another match for bragging rights, the Merseyside derby. Liverpool are dominant in this fixture, by the way, and this is a fixture that Jurgen Klopp will be telling his boys after the last couple of weeks. They need to get all 3 points. It's been disappointing in some of their games, but how important is this 3 points?
Very important, because they are looking at winning the title. At this point, any of the 3 teams who loses any point has lost the league, as it were. It's just 5 games to the end of the league, and any mistake, the title is gone. So it's very, very important for Liverpool to get their 3 points from this game. Though I know that we say Liverpool is the favourite to get the 3 points, but when it comes to Merseyside derby, it's a very
I was going to talk about that now, because both games, Arsenal versus Chelsea and then Everton versus Liverpool, they are big games, any day, anytime.
Yeah.
This is added pressure for these 2 teams. Just how much do you think they need to prove in these sort of fixtures, especially with just a couple of games to go?
For those that are chasing the title, they need to put in their best and make sure that they play it right. This is not the time when a player decides to be selfish in the point of goal. You don't have to be selfish. You have to make sure that you get goals. Make sure you get more goals.
And there are some players across both fixtures that have points to prove. Yeah. Gabriel Martinelli is one player I'll be looking out for. He's not had the best of times really in front of goal. Also, Mohamed Salah has not been, since his return from injury, it's not been particularly great for him. But in these sort of fixtures, you would expect that these players, they show why they are the big game players.
Yes. There are some players that are meant for big games, while there are some that are not meant for big games. But nevertheless, as a player, you need to just work your way into it, and it only takes few minutes.
Just for a moment.
Just for a moment.
And that could be decisive.
Yes.
But for City now, it's just before Arsenal and Liverpool played at the weekend, City were at the top, and now they still have a game in hand irrespective. So they have that sort of advantage now, but they are playing Brighton and Hove Albion, who have not had,
a smooth run
by the standards they set in the past 2 seasons, they've not really been up there this season.
Yeah, of course, they lost many of their players to transfer and
To injuries
and
at
to
the
also
start of the
injuries at the
season.
start of season.
But injuries are a part of football, isn't it?
Of course, of course. But when the coach has built a team around some certain players and the players go on injury, it becomes a shamble to the team.
On a good day, we know the favourites to win this particular tie is Manchester City. But against Chelsea in the FA Cup, they looked fatigued. I mean, this is a team that has played a lot of games from last season up until this season. Last season, they won the treble, so you can imagine the stretch of games they had to play, even this season too. Except that they've been knocked out from the Champions League now.
Yeah.
Now they're in the final of the FA Cup.
Yeah, you see, Guardiola spoke about this at the press conference, post-match conference after the game against Chelsea, that they had to play over 120 minutes playing penalty shootout in the Champions League. That's on Wednesday, only for them to play another match against a difficult team also on Saturday, and now they are going to be playing another game in the midweek. So this players are also human beings. They are not animals.
I mean, the amount of games that players
it's too much.
It's way too much, and the games have to be checked. I mean, a lot of debate is going on for that. But how do you see these games now in prospect? How do you see them panning out?
You know, Brighton they've had a long time to rest. Some of their players also returned from injury, while some of Manchester City's players went to injury.
Like Ellingham was not present against Chelsea. But do you reckon that City can still get a win in this one?
I feel it's a 60-40 chance because Brighton, their coach is not somebody you can just play by. Sometimes you feel that this game is a write-off for Brighton, and that's the game they win 5-0. They win.
How about the derby games now? The Merseyside derby. Do you think it's a stroll in the park for Liverpool? I mean, they looked a little bit like their old self against Fulham at the weekend.
Yes, because it's Fulham and Everton are two different teams, as it were, two different style of play, and like you said, this is a fight for dignity and integrity.
Bragging rights,
essentially. Bragging right. So they won't just lose the game just like that. So I still say a 70% for Liverpool, a 30% for Everton.
Okay, it sounds fair. How about Arsenal against Chelsea? I have a hunch in this one, and perhaps Arsenal fans watching this might feel I don't like them, but I have a hunch that somehow Chelsea
goes ahead of them.
Chelsea will. Remember the last hunch I had here about Kylian Mbappe, and it happened. I have that same feeling about Chelsea winning this particular tie.
I would have gone with you, but not with Palmer.
Injured. Yeah, that's a factor.
Which is one of the players that they have that has been exceptional
Absolutely.
this season. And also with Gusto playing from the right back. I don't think they've ever missed Reece James since Gusto came in and started.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job covering for Reece James. But do you share the same sentiments? Can Chelsea do a thing against Arsenal?
No, I do not go with that. But it's almost
because it's a derby and perhaps the biggest London derby.
Yeah, I probably give Arsenal 55%.
Okay.
Chelsea 45%.
Okay, we'll see how it pans out. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of these games, at the end of the midweek, and of course, still leading up until other fixtures as we near the end of the Premier League season. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Nutmeg, and don't forget you can be part of the community here on Guardian Nigeria by hitting the subscribe button there on YouTube, and also tapping the notification bells as well to get all our latest content. My name is Ayomide Sotubo. Thank you very much for your time, Hogan, and I'm looking forward to how these matches will go.
Thank you very much for having me. I will always say, like I said, Arsenal should win the league. So Arsenal, you can do it.
I wanted Liverpool to do it, but I don't think it will happen anymore. I feel it's going to be City. But we'll wait and see. Thank you very much, and until we'll come your way, I'll see you next time.